Hello everybody, welcome to another lecture of algebra, and today we're going to be looking at algebra. So we're going to be looking at multiplication and division. By the way, check out Brilliant's website so you can get a little smarter. Anyways, what is multiplication and division? Well, first let's cover multiplication. So, multiplication is like addition's very big brother. And it's also the middle child because it has an even bigger brother. Now, we're not going to talk about that today, but rather a little later in the series. So, now, there's also division. Who is really just itself. Doesn't have any bigger or smaller relatives. So, what is multiplication? Well, multiplication is basically repeated addition. What did I say when I said addition is the smaller brother of multiplication? Or the other way around, I guess. So, for example, let's say you have 3 times 7. That's a good example, right? Now, let's say that you add 3 times 7, right? So, 3 times 7 can look like this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So, 3 times 7 would be 3 added to itself 7 times. Now, if you count them, you can see there are clearly 7 of them. So, now, 3 times 7 can look like this also. Let's do it pictorially. The 3 rows of 7 will be like this. 3 rows of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1. Oh no, this is extra. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now you can see that there are 3 rows of 7 things. There were 3 rows and 7 columns of these weird little orb objects. Now, if you count them, that gets you to 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is 7. This is also going to be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And if you do the math here, well, you get this. 3 plus 3 is 6, 3 plus 3 is 6, 3 plus 3 is 6. Then you get this extra looking 3 at the end. 6 plus 6 is equal to 12, and then 6 plus 3 is equal to 9, meaning that we get 21 as well. So now, that's a pictorial, that's the pictorial and numeral representation of multiplication. I'm going to give you 5 seconds to guess what 6 times 4 would be. If you want more time, then pause the video. I know the multiplication fact like the back of my hand, so that's why I'll give you only 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up! Alright. Let's see. 6 times 4 is, let's do it in both pictorial and the numeral representation. 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, which would be equal to 24. That's not all. If you do the math, this would actually be 6 rows of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be very well the other way, reverse or vice versa, if you want. There were way too many terms for reverse. I'm basically just stalling you with conversation so I can get this drawing done. Alright. So, now if you count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24. So, that's proof that 6 times 4 is obviously 24. Now, I'm going to provide quite a few problems that you can take the time to solve if you have any by pausing. So, solve these if you want to. Now, we have division. What is division? Well, division divides stuff. Let's say you have a group of 8 objects. So 8, and you wanted to divide 8 by 4. That would be splitting 8 into 4 equivalent parts. You could also do it in a different way if you wanted to. There's got to be another way, right? Nah. Okay, so now it would be dividing 8 into 4 equal pieces. So, division, when you're doing division, the number you put here, or the number you put here, I'm going to call it n for numerator, because it's called that. That is equal to, that is actually, I believe, the amount of objects you have. Amount of objects. And then you have D for denominator, because that's what it's called. D would be the how many parts you need to divide it into. And then the answer, which we'll call Q for quotient, because it's called that, is equal to the number of objects in each one. So 8 divided by 4 is each group contains 1, 2. So that now, what about long division, which is the last concept we'll cover today? Well, let's say that we have a very large number divided by a very small number. We are never going to draw 684 points unless you're a maniac or cuckoo. So, what we do is we use long division. How? Well, 684 is actually divisible by 4. How? Well, we can guess that based on how 6, there is a 4 there, there is an 8 there, which is also divisible by 4, and there's a 600 there, which is also divisible by 4. So, my guess is that this whole number is divisible by 4. I hope I'm right. So, that gives us, now let's try to take a chunk out of here. Let's say we get as close as to 600 as we can possibly get. Well, 600 divided by 4 is actually a number. If you do the math, then it's going to be equal to 150. How? Well, it's because 60 divided by 4, would be 15. Well, how would you know that, you may ask? Well, if you're so desperate to know, then I'm going to make a whole little thing. So, what's the combination? 4 by 15, yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 32. Okay, so 36, 40, 44, 48, 52, 56, 60. Now let's count how many there are per row. And no, let's count how many there are per column, I meant. It's kind of chaotic, so sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. I had to put the last one here. Looks kind of chaotic, but I trust you. Trust me, this is 60. So, that means 60 by 4 is equal to 15. So, now, that means we can subtract 600 while adding 150 to our quotient of 0. So, now, that gets us to 84. We know that 80 divided by 4 is equal to 20 because we know 8 divided by 4 is equal to 2. It's obviously going to be 10 times that number if the number on top is 10 times. So, now if we subtract 80, have to add 20 to our load. Gets us to 4. We subtract 4, that gets us to 0, and we add 1 here, which gets us to a total of 171. Now, there's one last thing I want to cover. It's called the remainder. It's when things don't divide evenly. For example, let's say we have 50 divided by 7. Well, I know that 7 times 7 is equal to 49. So that probably means 49 divided by 7 is equal to 7. However, you subtract 49, you get 7, all right. That leaves you with 1. But if you subtract 7 from 1 again, leaves you with a negative number. So, what do? Well, you can only leave it there. And that's why we have the remainder. So that's what's called the remainder. Now, how do you write a mixed number that has a remainder after finding it using long division? Well, you take the quotient, then you add the remainder divided by the quotient. Anyways, I think I might need to want to change it just to see if that I confused these two. So I know that this is going to be 48, giving us a remainder of 2 and a quotient of 6. So 58 would be equal to no, not yet, people. 50 divided by 8 would be around 48 and 2 8. So 6 and 2 8. So that means that you have to take the quotient and then the remainder divided by the divisor. So let me repeat. Quotient plus remainder divided by divisor. Thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you next time.